in your destiny. I am on here today to talk about being God's watchman. I am elated to talk about this. I hope you all have been having an auspicious week. Good to see you coming in. As you're coming in, let me know where you are watching this from. I would love to virtually meet you and greet you. Let me know what city, what state, what country you're watching this live video from. And if you're watching the replay, you already know what to do. Go ahead and put in the comments hashtag replay, letting me know that you were here, that you were able to watch this and catch this. And let me know if you have any questions. Tag me in the comments. Good to see you. Good to see. Good to see. I can't see your name on there, but I'm looking at all different platforms. So make sure that you are greeting me and letting me know that you're here. Also, I want you all to go ahead and share this with other people, those individuals that need encouragement right now on if God is calling them or he's requiring them in this season to become his watchmen, if he's encouraging individuals to become watchmen. I want you to go ahead and share this video out right now so that people can be encouraged to develop this area of their life, to develop the spiritual disciplines that are necessary to cultivate this watchman assignment that God has given, this commission that God has given people. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Takumbo Okalaja. Some people call me Coach Takumbo. I'm the founder of Takumbo the Leader, where we help emerging leaders discover VIP, which is voice, identity, and purpose, so they can dominate in their destiny. I'm super passionate about helping those faith-based leaders, those faith-based emerging leaders to develop interpersonal skills, those power skills that are necessary to dominate and to cultivate the teams that God has assigned them to. And so today I'm jumping on here to discuss becoming God's watchman. And really, I'm discussing managing your time as God's watchman. And so, what are the things that you need to cultivate and to develop in order to be a person that is honoring and being responsible with being the watchman that God has assigned for you to be? And so, I want you to type in the comments, watchman, if you believe that God has been speaking to you in this season about cultivating and about becoming a watchman. I believe that it's different than just being an intercessor, because really all of us should be intercessors. But I feel like there are certain people that God taps on your shoulder and he says, hey, I want you to be assigned to a certain region. I want you to be assigned to a certain demographic of people. And I want you to become my watchman, where I'm going to begin to reveal to you some principalities. I'm going to begin to reveal to you some things that are plaguing this community. And I want to use you, and I want you to develop in the place of prayer. And I want you to begin to be my watchman and to look out for these things. And I also want you to be able to counteract the things that are on the horizon by way of prayer. And so I'm going to teach us how to manage our time well. If you know that God has assigned you, or he's commissioning you, he's mandating you to become his watchman, because there's some things that we need to do. If God is saying, hey, this is a season where I now am trusting you in the place of prayer, where you need to grow, you need to be developed, you need to go into another dimension. I want you to type in the comments upgrade. Good to see you. I want you to type in the comments upgrade if you feel like God is putting a demand on you and that you're no longer just an intercessor. Because again, all of us should be intercessors. We should be standing in the gap, praying for people. But I believe that God does assign for some people to become watchmen. I'm going to read something from the Bible. I'm going to read Ezekiel 3:17, and you can read some more scriptures in context. But the Bible talks about a watchman, and Isaiah, he talks about what it means to be a watchman and some of the things that happen when we are not people that take the responsibility and the role of a watchman seriously. And so I want you to go back and read these scriptures. But I'm going to read Ezekiel 3:17. It says, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Therefore, hear a word from my mouth and give them warning from me. I'm not going to read any more of this, but it talks about, if you read further into Ezekiel's story, God says to him, if you don't warn my people when I reveal things to you, the blood is going to be on your hand. But if you do, then, and they don't listen, that's not your fault. And so even in the Old Testament, I'm going to read some more definitions, but in the Hebrew, the word is asapha, which means to look out or about, to spy, to keep watch. It's a Hebrew verb meaning properly to lean forward. Example is to peer into the distance, by implication to observe, await, behold. And so even just three things: you're watching, you're warning, you're waiting. You're watching, you're warning, you're waiting. If you're a watchman, then you have to understand, or you have to be a person that understands that you have to wait on God. You have to be a person that waits to hear what it is that He is saying. And so if you get agitated, or you're a person that wants to hear something or see something immediately happen, then probably being a watchman is not the role for you. You're waiting, you're listening, you're watching, you're warning. If God is saying, hey, warn my people. And if you're a prophetic scribe and God has assigned for you to be a watchman, and you also are a prophetic scribe, you have the ability to write to people, to express what God is saying through the use of writing. You can convey a message to other people that, hey, this is on the horizon. There are some other prophetic voices that have been able to use their books. God has been able to use their writing in order to warn people that this is on the horizon, this is coming. And these are God's watchmen. Let's get into four responsibilities. Type in the comments, good to see you, four responsibilities. Type in the comments, four responsibilities. Number one, you're going to get, well, the first thing that you should be doing is waiting and hearing from God. If you are God's watchman, you should be waiting. You should be hearing from God, listening to what He is saying, because that's the first thing here. What is God saying? When you are in these times of listening to what God is saying, I'm going to tap into this because we should all know, most of the people that follow us or follow me are believers, and we wait for God in prayer. We should be developing and cultivating our prayer life. But with the watchman, God is going to give you watch times. I need you to type in the comments watch times. God's going to give you watch times. And if you just jumped on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and share this video out with your friends. If you're on, and like this video already, if you haven't liked this video, go ahead and like this video and subscribe on YouTube. But the first thing is that you are going to become a person that understands watch times. What do I mean by this? God is going to give you a shift in prayer. There's some scholars that have talked about 8 different types of watch times. There are some of you that are under the sound of my voice that God is commanding you to begin to pray from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m., from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. You need to take different shifts. And when God is telling you, hey, I need you to take this shift. I need you to pray from 12 to 3, from 3 to 6, or from 6 to 9. You need to also think of this as a role. You need to think of this as a job, as an assignment, because I feel like sometimes when we don't think of things as assignments, or we don't think of things as certain positions and roles, we are pretty flippant about the things that God has assigned for us to do. But a lot of you that are listening, God is going to assign you to a watch time. If you can feel me on this, type in the comments the watch time that God has given you in this season of your life. What's the watch time that you believe that God is requiring you? You've been praying. Watchmen are not people that are just going to pray for 5 minutes and be like, oh, it's over with. No, a watchman is someone that's going to spend time and ample amounts of prayer, because you have the time. You're carving out the time. You're managing your time. You're making it a priority to make it to your watch time. I'll tell you this, something that God has been convicting me about lately, He was giving me a watch time that He had given me before last year, and I wasn't really making it, because I was like, oh, I have so many other things to do, and I would come to my watch time late. And God began to convict me about coming to my watch time late, because here's the thing. The reason why God is asking you to come to the watch time at a particular time is certain revelation is only going to be dispensed at that particular time. And so if you miss that window of time, good to see you, Josh. If you miss that window of time, you're going to miss that revelation. And what if you needed that revelation for a people that you're called to? What if you needed that revelation for your audience? What if you needed that revelation for your job, your workplace, and you missed that watch time? Why? Because you were being lackadaisical. You were being lackluster about the watch time that He gave you. And so when God gives you a particular watch time, you need to make it sure that you're very serious about it. You need to make sure that you put your timer on your phone and say, hey, I'm going to make it to this watch time. Because if He gave you that watch time, that means that you have the grace, you have the ability you have the grace to walk it out, to live through that, to walk through that watch time, no matter what watch time He's given you. And He will assign that to you. You'll have a conversation with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is going to press you. And matter of fact, you probably are going to wake up at that time. You won't even need an alarm clock, but your body will naturally just be like, hey, I'm up. And the disciples, when Jesus told them to watch and pray, and they fell asleep. I know that sometimes when you're getting adjusted, it's an adjustment to make, but you need to be a person that says, hey, God gave me this watch time. I believe I want to honor this watch time. So he's given me the grace to make it to this watch time and to press through. If you believe that you're going to press through in your season, I want you to type press through, get to see, press through, press through. Number two, I believe that God is going to give you a region. He's going to give you a city. He's going to give you a territory. He's going to give you something specific for you to be praying about over a particular city. He's going to show you some things about a region. He's going to show you a thing about an organization. He's going to show you something about a territory or an organization where you are. And he's going to, or even where, if you're not there, he's going to show you what is happening in these regions. And you're going to begin to watch in prayer. You're going to seek his face in prayer. And you're going to begin to see the schemes and the wicked schemes of the adversary. Some of us, we need to become more inquisitive. If you see that there's a certain people group or there's a certain group of or a certain region that is suffering from the same thing, they're going through the same cycle over and over again, and you're not questioning, God, how can we break this cycle? Why is this happening? If you don't experience, and if you're not paying attention to certain pain points and frustrations of the people around you, chances are you're not going to be a successful watchman. A watchman is inquisitive. I need you to type in the comments, ask questions. A watchman is asking God, why in the world are these people being plagued with this certain thing over and over again? Why does this happen every single year? How come this is consistently happening? It feels like a cycle is taking place. What can we do? What mechanisms can we put in place to counteract these cycles that are continuously happening? And again, if you're a prophetic scribe, you have the ability to what? To write and to begin to warn people and to begin to give people solutions and to encourage people and to shift people out of places of being in cycles. The next thing, so number one, you're going to get some watch times. You're going to get a region, a city. And then I want to go into this, but you're going to get an awareness of a principality. I need you to, I want us to understand too, being a watchman is also being a researcher, right? We talked about being inquisitive, but you should become a researcher. I believe that the Lord is going to give you awareness of a principality. And when God gives you this principality, when he gives you a certain spirit that is operating over this region or operating over this organization or company, your responsibility is to begin to begin to study, get to see you, Annie, begin to study that principality. Why is this principality hovering over this region? You're going to research about this principality because watchmen are skilled marksmen. You're not coming into prayer with fluff. You're not coming into prayer with random words. You're not coming into prayer trying to figure this thing out. You understand that you've done your research on this principality, and now you're a marksman in the spirit, and now you're coming against exactly the thing that's hindering people from walking in the things that the Lord has called them to. You're a marksman in the spirit, so now you're pinpointing and you're sending arrows to begin to counteract and to begin to tear down the strongholds that are consistently plaguing this community of people. And if you're a prophetic scribe, you should be writing out these prayers for other people, for other intercessors, for other watchmen, for other individuals. Because if you are, again, we're talking about managing our time as watchmen. What are we doing as watchmen, as God's watchmen? When we make it to our time, when we make it to our shift, when we make it to our watch time, what are we doing when we get there? You should have research already. You should already have in mind that you're going to wait on God and begin to hear from him on what are the words, what are the things that need to be spoken over this region, over this place that God has commanded you to be a watchman over. And I want to continuously encourage you that if you are a prophetic scribe, this is such a good, you should be an individual that should be writing books so that you can be able to warn people and shift people out of places of disparity and shift people from one place to the next place. And I want you to, no, actually, let me go to my next thing. We're going to pray for the solution. We're watchmen. We're seeing the issues. We're seeing principalities. We're aware that there's problems. But you need to begin to ask the Lord, what are the solutions? Because you want to pray the solution. Type in the comments, solution oriented. I know a lot of prophetic people, you can see issues, you can see problems, but let's use our prophetic gift. Let's use our gift to hear from God and our gift to see and sense and feel. Let's use that gift to begin to find solutions. So what are the solutions that God is saying, hey, this people group, because some of you guys, you all are called to a people group, you're called to a region, you're called to a city. What are the solutions that's going to help these individuals or this city, this region, this organization to be catapulted into the places that I have for them? What are the things on the horizon that if they're not prepared for, it's going to take them out? So what can you do to bring them to sobriety? What solutions is God telling you to pray so that you can bring these people to a level of sobriety so that you can warn them? Because at the end of the day, all you can do is just share the information and encourage people with the information. And really, it's up to them to figure out what they're going to do with that information. And so, but you're going to be the person that says, hey, God has told me what the issue is. I not only see what the issue is, but I know what the solution is because I'm a marksman in the spirit. I know what the Lord is saying because God has given me an advantage. I need you to type in the comments, watchman advantage. You as a watchman, in the Old Testament, we know that they were sitting on high, looking up, looking and peering up and being able to see things that other people cannot see from afar. You have an advantage. You have an ability to see things from afar. And so, yeah, things may not be happening now, but you're seeing things from afar. And do you believe what the Lord is saying? Because now you're the only person that's seeing it right now, but because you're a visionary and you're a person that sees into the future, but God is showing you that thing. Why? So that you can be able to help and to prepare other people, to help the people that the leaders that you're called to, and help put things into place, even if it's just prayer. And if it's just warning people, whether you are writing on Facebook or writing a book or writing or creating certain art through your gift of writing. What is it that you're doing with that watchman after you're done praying, after you're done seeking his face? What are you doing with the information that God has given you? I wanted to just jump on here really quickly because I felt a burden to talk to watchmen and to really get us to a place of sobriety where we take our watchman abilities seriously, and we are people that are intense, or we are people that are super focused and laser focused on our prayers, and we're laser focused on counteracting the things that are happening. Some of us are so asleep right now. There's so many things happening in people's communities, and you're complaining, and you are actually being stagnant. You're stagnant too in that area, and instead of you figuring out or trying to figure out, okay, what is God saying in this season? What is God saying? And I'm also going to say this too. Some of us, God is asking us to do something different. We are believing God for new things to happen in our life. We are frustrated because new things are not happening in our life, and we don't see new things happening in the people that are around us. What if God is saying, hey, I need you to do something new? You know, when we say, when I move, you move, just like that. Okay, when you move and you do something else, just like that, he could do something else, and he can move on your behalf and do something different because you decided to no longer be stagnant, and you do something different instead of just saying, God, do something. Oh, I want a new thing. I want a new thing to happen. What are you doing that's different? How are you upgrading your own life? How are you upgrading in the place of prayer? How are you upgrading in the place of fasting? Or how are you upgrading and just even waiting on God when in the place of prayer? Are you believing that God is going to give you an answer in 5 seconds? Because if you're a watchman and you're impatient, I just don't understand how we're just so impatient and we're watchmen. Because if you are a watchman, God is giving you prayer projects and prayer assignments. And you're going to type in the comments, prayer project. He's giving you prayer projects and prayer assignments. And I don't know, you don't know when those prayer projects or when that prayer assignment is you're going to see the fruit of that. And maybe even in your own lifetime, you won't even be able to see the fruit of that. But I also have to say this too here, because he was telling me when I was late to my watch time, right? I was late. I'll tell on myself. I was late to my watch time, and the Lord began to speak to me because I said, oh, I'm so sleepy. I'm tired. Please, I just want to go to sleep. And he said, do you know that there were people that were waiting all night? They were waiting all night and praying in the morning just for you. I even remember when my mom used to pray like 6 o'clock in the morning, just praying, praying, praying. And he said, there was people that were praying for you. There was people that were praying for your salvation. They were up all night praying for you to get saved, praying for you to get delivered, praying for you to step into your destiny. And now you need to pay it forward, and you need to begin to pray for other people and pray for regions and pray for different things. When you're a watchman, this is not about praying for your own needs and praying for what you need. This is about looking at the suffering that's going on in the world and beginning to ask God, what are the things that you want me to pray so that this suffering can be mitigated? What are the things that you want me to call forward so that people can understand that you are God, so that people can understand who you are? This is not about, oh, I need something from God. God. If you're a watchman, this means that you're a mature believer. So you are someone that says, hey, I know that I'm supposed to be praying for this region and praying these prayer projects and not getting weary in well doing. Galatians 6 and 9, not getting weary in praying for these individuals because I don't see anything shifting. This group of people, they're stiff necked, they're bullheaded. But God is saying, I've called you to be a watchman so that you can be able to counteract the things that have been plaguing them for years. Because a watchman, here's the thing, if something has been plaguing people for years, he needs a watchman to continue to hammer and to continue to use the weaponry, the spiritual weaponry that he's given us to be able to counteract and to overthrow those things. And so let's be encouraged as watchmen. Get your watch time. Understand what God is calling you. All of us have different times. Think of it as different shifts. So from 12 to 3, you're on a shift. From 3 to 6, you're on a shift. From 6 to 9, someone else in the body of Christ is on a shift. Get on the shift. What is your shift? I want you to type in the comments what shift you're on. I can't see the comments in our one of our groups, but what shift are you on? Has God given you a particular watch time? Let me know in the comments, or go find that out. Google what watch time. Ask the Lord for what your watch time is. Where is the city? Where's the region that you're assigned to pray over? What is the exact city? Have you been researching the things? Number 3, have you had awareness of the principalities that are plaguing the city? We're not praying aimlessly. We're not praying random things. We don't have time for that. We're seeking God's face and we're saying, hey, what is going on in this city? And then lastly, what are the solutions to counteract those things? What should I be praying? What should I be putting into position in the place of prayer? Y'all, I want you to join us for our Unlock Your Book workshop. I'm calling in all the prophetic scribes, those individuals that are assigned to hear God's voice and to be able to write for God. Type in the comments, hashtag I write for God. If you are an individual that God is requiring you to write for him, to warn his people through the place of writing, to warn his people and to cultivate his people through the place of writing, to develop and to mature people through the place of writing. I want you to type in the comments, hashtag I write for God, I write for God, if that is you, because I want you to come, because I know that I'm called, I'm assigned, I know where I'm called to. I'm called to those Christian writers, those individuals that understand that their gift is not for them. Their gift is for the body of Christ. Their gift is even beyond the body of Christ. Beyond the 4 walls of the church. You're called to draw in people, even if you're using biblical principles in your writing, and you're calling in those people, you're drawing those people closer to the Father's heart. And so that is where I want you all to come. If you're a watchman, if you're a person that is excited about prayer, that means that you probably are a watchman. But remember, he'll commission you, he'll tap you on your shoulder and say, let's go, let's do this. And so I'm tapping you all that are assigned, that have said, hey, I know that I'm a watchman. I know that I'm called to be a prophetic scribe. I know that God has assigned me to be a person that warns, to be a person that encourages, to be a person that comforts people through the place of writing. I share the heart of God with people through the place of writing. It's actually going to be happening this Saturday, the March the 2nd, in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you are in Atlanta, or if you're coming to Atlanta, fly into Atlanta, Georgia. This will be our only in-person book writing workshop that we're having in this season. So if you miss it, I don't know what else to tell you, because we usually do our stuff online, but I felt led to meet some people and to help people in person. So whatever mental blocks or whatever blocks people are experiencing with their writing, we want to address those things in person, and we want to give people encouragement and the tools that are necessary for them to be able to write their books. So some of the people that I meet, they're saying they have all these ideas. They have a flood of ideas going on in their mind, and they don't know how to get them out. That's what we do. We give you a strategy so that if you have a flood of thoughts in your mind, we give you a strategy on how to organize those thoughts, how to put those thoughts together so that it's organized and so that you have an outlet to express these thoughts. Some of you with these long status updates, you need to go ahead and finish writing a book. Written 5 status updates that are all these paragraphs long. Let's finish the book this year in 2024. If you believe that 2024 is your season to unlock your book, I need you to type in the comments, hashtag unlock. Good to see you. Hashtag unlock, unlock, unlock. If you believe that 2024 is your season, It is the time. God has mandated you. He's requiring you. He's giving you a burden for a particular group of people. If you know that that is you, I want you to type in the comments, hashtag unlock, and go ahead and register early. Regular registration is going to close on Friday or Thursday. So I want you to go ahead and get this before the price goes up. And we're launching on Saturday. So meet us in Atlanta, Georgia. We're excited to meet you, prophetic scribes, in person. And if you are VIP, which most of you are, we're going to spend 4 hours together. And our bonus hour is going to be centered on coaching people on how to, our bonus hour is going to be focused on publishing, on how to publish your book, self-publish your book, on how to market your book as well. And I'm also giving my VIP students feedback on their book idea, their topic, their structure of their book, and the audience for their book. And so they're emailing me those things, and I'm giving them feedback on those particular areas. And so if you're excited about coming, I would love to meet you in person, and I would love to help you unlock your book and encourage you and give you the tools that you need in order for you to be successful on your writing journey. And really, the biggest thing about this workshop is after you attend this workshop, these are all the things that you need in order for you to be successful. So you are going to use this model that I'm giving you. I call it my simple secret sauce strategy. You're going to use this model and you're going to use it to replicate the rest of your books. You're a multi-talented author. You're a multiple author. You have multiple books inside of you. So you're going to use the strategy to write the rest of your books. These are the strategies that I use to write all of my books. And I've written about 20 plus books. And the task of writing a book is less daunting because I have a simple secret sauce strategy that I employ when it's time for me to write my books. And so you're going to have this and you're going to be able to leave your legacy in writing. Let me see if you all have any questions about the Unlock Your Book workshop. Let me see. I see you in the comments saying unlock. Good to see you in the Writing Wings group. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the workshop. I would love for you to be there, the pop-up workshop. Again, I don't know when we're going to do this again. So if you miss it, you just miss it. And this is in person. And we usually only talk to people virtually, but I felt led that we really needed to help people in person, talk to people in person, let us know what's going on, because there's some barriers that are hindering people from being able to step into becoming the author that God has assigned for them to be. I know that a lot of us are writers, but don't we want to upgrade to becoming authors? I know that you're a writer, you write in your journals, but let's upgrade to becoming an author. All right, I'm out of here. Tag me in the comments if you need anything else. I'm going to leave a legacy in writing with y'all later, and I'm going to build iconic dreams with y'all later. Love you like a leader. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bye, and I hope to see you in Atlanta, Georgia this Saturday. Bye.